Hey guys, welcome to Alex Goes Coconuts. So today I'm going to talk to you about Disney's Wild Africa Trek. It's something my husband and I did for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and it was a really cool experience. So basically it was my 10-year anniversary, and we were going to Disney, just me and my husband. And my husband's favorite park is actually Animal Kingdom Park. So I decided to book this Wild Africa Trek as a gift. And honestly, it was really fun to embark in such an exotic adventure so close to home. It's like going on an African trek without traveling to Africa. So it was a really fun experience. So basically, Disney's Wild Africa Trek is a 3-hour trek. It's a privately guided expedition at Disney's Animal Kingdom Park. It's a privately priced tour. You still will have to have access to the park, so you have to buy a ticket for entrance to the park, and you will have to pay a separate price for the trek itself. It costs between $189 to $249 depending on the day you go and the time of day you go. So children are allowed to go onto the tour. They have to be 8 years old or older, and they have to be accompanied by an adult. There's also a 300-pound limit, so you can't weigh more than 300 pounds for your own safety. And you also have to be in good physical condition and in good health to go onto this tour. It will require you to cross like rope bridges and to go through like bushy areas and jungle areas. And you won't be able to do the tour if you have a fear of heights, because those rope bridges are really high off the ground, and you will be standing on certain ledges and looking down. So it's not really something you want to do if you're afraid of heights or if you're in bad physical condition. Now, the excursions will take place rain or shine, so even if it is raining, you will have to go onto the tour. The only reason they will cancel the expedition is if there's thunder or really severe weather. Okay, so let me tell you a bit about what goes on during this Wild Africa Trek. So you're given an hour that you have to show up at check-in, and you have to be on time because they will leave without you and you won't get refunded. So we checked in on time, and we were greeted by a super friendly staff member. They actually assigned a locker for us to put all our stuff into. So when you go on the trek, you're not allowed to bring any bags, any purses, nothing with you. It all has to be stored into those lockers. You are allowed to bring a camera as long as it has a strap or a lanyard, and so that it can be attached to you. And we were allowed to wear our sunglasses. We were given a neck strap for our sunglasses so our glasses wouldn't fall off our faces. After we put stuff in our lockers, we actually were given vests, like little safari vests with pockets on it. At that point, we were able to store a few things that we absolutely needed to bring with us. Like, I have a food allergy, so they allowed me to bring my epinephrine with me, and I was able to put it in one of those pockets. We were actually not even allowed to wear watches, or our magic bands had to be removed too, because they were scared that they would fall off and endanger the animals. They also made us step into a harness for our safety, and we had to wear the harness throughout the whole experience. Now, they do recommend that you wear comfortable clothing. They suggest shorts or pants and a comfortable t-shirt, no skirts or dresses for obvious reasons. And they also require a closed-toe shoe, so no flip-flops, nothing that can fall off your foot. It had to be a closed-toe sandal with a back strap, or some kind of hiking shoe or running shoes. So after they put us in our harnesses and in our vests, they each gave us a name tag. We were also given headsets so that we could hear the tour guide throughout the trek, and refillable bottles that we got to keep as a souvenir after the trek. We then were introduced to our guides. We were introduced to 2 young girls who were supposed to be our guides for the rest of the tour, and they explained a bit what would happen during the trek, and they also shared their knowledge of a few Swahili words before we left, and that was kind of fun. It already started putting us into the mood of the whole safari experience. So first we ventured into the Pagani Forest Trail, where we got to see some monkeys and gorillas. And that's when they led us to a private entrance, and that's where the fun really began. So we went into basically like the jungle, and we walked through the jungle for a little while. We finally came to a clearing where the guides clipped our harnesses to a cable so that we could get really close to a ledge. And at the bottom of the ledge we could see a pool where there was two hippos playing around, and we got to meet their caretaker. So their caretaker was there to answer questions about the hippos and also teach us about the hippos' natural habitats, what they eat, their behavior, and where they actually come from. So it was a super fun experience. We learned a lot of stuff about hippos that we didn't know. We also got to feed the hippos, so we tossed lettuce at the hippos, and that way we got to see like their huge teeth. After saying goodbye to the hippos, we continued our journey inside the jungle until we arrived at a series of roped bridges. Before you step onto the bridge, it's actually quite scary because it's so high above the ground. It was kind of thrilling and it felt adventurous, so I really did enjoy that experience. They basically clipped our harnesses to the cables, and we were allowed to go 2 by 2 onto the bridges so that we could take our time, stop halfway, take some pictures, and really enjoy the experience. But it's not until I got onto the bridge that I saw that each of these suspended bridges were hanging over like tons and tons of crocodiles just waiting for us to fall in. So that was a little bit scary, but the bridges are really secure. I mean, they're made of metal ropes, and you could tell that they were really solid, so there was no danger of us falling in. Plus we were clipped down to the cables, so there's like no risk whatsoever. This tour includes a photographer that will record your whole experience on the tour. The photographer did follow us onto each bridge, and they were taking pictures along the way, so it was really fun to have a photographer to deal with that and us not having to fumble with our cameras on those bridges. So once we crossed the first bridge or two, I think we came to another ledge where we were able to see crocodiles. Now on that ledge they had like fresh waters to refill your water bottles, and at the same time we got to meet another caretaker, the caretaker for the crocodiles, and that person taught us all about crocodiles. And you know, I was never a big fan of crocodiles or alligators, but I found a new respect for them after talking to the caretaker. So it was really an educational experience. We crossed another final suspended bridge, and that's when we started the second part of the tour. Now, the second part of the tour takes place in a safari vehicle. Upon boarding the safari truck, we were all given chilled towels to freshen up and cool down, which was quite nice because we were standing in the sun for quite a long time. And then we made our way through the savannah with the truck pulling over several times so that we can get up close and personal with the animals. So we got to see like some giraffes, some cheetahs, some zebras, and all kinds of other animals like antelopes and stuff like that. Meanwhile, the tour guides did a great job at sharing their knowledge of each animal and how they lived in nature and their natural habitats. Then we were driven to the boma, and the boma is basically an enclosure in the middle of the safari, an open enclosure. It's really beautiful. As soon as we stepped onto that boma, the views were absolutely stunning, and that's where they were going to serve us lunch. So there was round tables set up already for us with beautiful African-inspired tablecloths. We sat down at the tables and they served us each a tin can lunchbox filled with delicious food. So since we took the morning tour, we were served a light breakfast. So basically the meal included like some cold cuts, smoked salmon roulades, yogurt, some fresh fruit salad, dried fruits, and some cheese. They also gave us each some jungle juice, which is basically pog juice. It's the same stuff they serve at the Polynesian. So basically it's passion fruit, orange, and guava juice mixed together. Now on this boma there are bathrooms, so if you have to make a quick bathroom stop stop, you can. They all gave us time after our meal to walk around, take some pictures with the photographer, observe some of the animals that you could see from the boma. And there's also a place like in back of the building that you can actually observe the lion's den, so you can see all the lions and stuff. It was a really beautiful place. That part of the tour was actually my favorite part because it was just so stunning. The views were amazing. So after filling our water bottles once more, we boarded the safari vehicles again, and we were taken out onto the savannah once more. And there we got to see some rhinos, and we also got to see lions and the elephants at play. So it was really a nice ending to the tour. So a portion of our tour ticket is actually donated to Disney's Wildlife Conservation Fund. Each guest got a stone, and we were able to choose which animal we wanted to donate our funds to. So there were boxes with different animals written on them, like elephant, lions, rhinos, and giraffes. So we got to choose which animal we wanted to give the funds to. After saying bye to our tour guides, we were given a photo code so that we could access our pictures online. So I have to say the photographers that are included with this tour are really skilled photographers. They did an amazing job. The pictures were absolutely stunning. And not only that, but they also included like a lot of close-up of animals that we wouldn't have gotten on our own. It just made the whole experience that much better. Honestly, this tour was an amazing experience. My husband and I both loved it, and it's something we're gonna remember for the rest of our lives. It was a really fun, adventurous experience. It felt super authentic, and the people, like the tour guides and the people who take care of the animals, are really dedicated and they really know their stuff really well. So it was a super educational experience. I really recommend it to anybody looking for something completely different and a bit more adventurous. Okay guys, so that concludes my video. I hope you liked it. If you have any more questions about the Wild Africa tour, please don't be shy. Just ask me in the comments below and I'll try to answer any questions. And don't forget to watch some of my other Walt Disney World videos. Bye guys, have a great day.